Really, it was trying to move away from the traditional racing game. We felt that racing games have become too much about perfection, too much about just out-and-out realism, and they weren't really adding anything else. There weren't really any other talking points about racing games apart from how good the physics were and how beautiful the environment was. And we wanted to kind of bring some other ideas in there and some other cool ideas. So, namely, the idea of battling between the other racers, which was, that was the real starting idea, that we kind of wanted the player to be battling against other players on the track. We still wanted it to be a racing game, but more interaction with the other characters was something that was key for us, and that's really led to all of the other decisions that we've made over the last year and a half or so. Yeah, the cutscenes in the game, I mean, there is a story, but the story is really the story of the progression of the game, which is a group of people who are underground racers that want to get more fans, they want to get world recognition, they want to get their scene to be, taken seriously by the rest of the world. So really the cutscenes are just about getting the player used to the other characters in the game, because it's so important that you understand, if you have to chase one particular guy, who that person is. So, it's really, it's not an epic story. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, the fans in the game, in fact, the crowds around the streets, they're supposed to play, they're playing quite an important part in the game. They're not just there spectating, they are actually part of the scene. So, they also control the projector lights, which show which way the traffic has got to go. They also block traffic off. So the fans are actually part of the scene as opposed to just being there as well. But what the game's about is, the game's about you and the other drivers fighting for the love of the fans, if you like, and fighting for the respect of the fans. And so that's why you're doing all of the things you're doing. And when you do something cool on track, the fans will reward you with their support and cash. So that actually becomes a progression tool that we can use through the game. So once you get enough fans and you've got enough cash from winning events and doing cool stuff, you can go and buy new cars and buy new power-ups. Well, as I said before, the social network aspect of the game really relates to the fans and how the drivers and the fans interact. So when you do cool stuff on the track, coming back to the social network, coming back to the front end, you'll actually have members of each group kind of talking to you. If you win a race, they'll set you challenges, a specific challenge because you won. If you came last, they might set you a different type of challenge. So it's really about them responding to what you've done on the track in a meaningful way. On a multiplayer point of view, the multiplayer is the social network in the multiplayer is to allow players to experience Blur even when they're not playing their game. So let's say we're in the same time attack group and you've just done a lap time and then you've gone off to work, and then I come home and I see that there's a new lap time. I can beat it. You can look on the internet, and you and everybody else in the group will be informed at that point that there's a new time up there. It kind of brings together the three consoles, and the PC. Even though you're not racing together, you still will be able to communicate and view what's going on with other, on other consoles. So maybe pictures and stuff like that. So it's got two different components. One is how it plays within the scene and what it does within the single player game, and the other thing is how we can use it to make the online portion bigger and work even when you're not at your computer or not on your console. Well, we always know when the game's coming out. We have something like a 2-year cycle. So the game will be out towards the end of this year. I don't have an exact date for you. But yeah, right from the word go, we knew that we had 2 years to make the game, which kind of made things difficult because, again, we were creating a brand new engine, a brand new IP, and also designing brand new goals for the player that, you know, we've had to tune and work out. So it's been tough, and we're not there yet, and we'll be struggling to get to the finish. But that's what we do, and we will achieve it, and the game will come out on time at the end of the year, and I'm pretty sure people will enjoy it.